Hello, this is Bonnie,
I'm Stacy.
and we are Red Wine, Redheads and Real Estate. And we are here to talk to you today about home improvements, getting your house ready for selling.
Yes, it's not always an easy subject to talk about with your sellers because people have emotional attachments to their home, and even if they don't think they do, you have to make some suggestions to them to change things that they have in their home, and sometimes it doesn't go over really well.
I agree. You know this old saying, like, one person's trash is another person's treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when people come into a house, you're very proud of your house as a seller, but as a buyer, you want to envision yourself in that house. And so, as we like to say, less is more. Mm-hmm. So pare down a lot of your pictures, your tchotchkes, anything that takes away from the natural beauty of your house.
Yes.
And sometimes when you're talking to your agent, your realtor, they will make some suggestions that you might bristle at because you want to sell and make money. And what they're suggesting is to spend money to make money. Mm-hmm. And it's just such a foreign concept to people. But there's a reason. There's a really good reason we make suggestions.
Yes, because they actually work, and we see it happen every day. I mean, we get surprised by it too. That okay, you take your walls, you paint them grayish and do white trim, and you paint your kitchen cabinets white, and your house didn't sell for 6 months, and then it sells in 2 days.
Yes,
it happens.
Yes, people look for the trends, and lately the trends have been, as Stacy mentioned, the grayish color. It's not a gray, not a beige, but it's that neutral color. And definitely white kitchens are really what people want, which someone may look at my kitchen right behind us, and to me it's beautiful. I know lots of my neighbors have painted their cabinets white, and it completely transforms the kitchen. It's not my budget at the moment, and I do like my cabinets.
But if you were to sell, would you consider painting your cabinets?
I would. Mm-hmm. I would. I know a lot of homes in my neighborhood. I've been sitting for a little while, and it's possible, they are 10 years old, which isn't really old, but the look of 10 years ago and the look of today, the trends are not the same. Mm-hmm. So, when your house sits on the market and doesn't sell, and maybe you've already moved, your house is sitting empty, there's carrying costs. You're still paying a mortgage. You're still paying for your heat and electricity to be on so people can come walk through. So these are factors you have to weigh. You have to see, like, how long can it sit there and not sell, or how quickly do you want it to move. And sometimes we make suggestions that are to help you. It's not to
insult you.
Correct.
Yes,
correct.
At all.
Yes.
I mean, we don't, again, we're in Bonnie's house. I mean, she doesn't have a white kitchen. She doesn't have grayish walls and white trim. We're not saying, she loves her house. Her house is beautiful. But if she were to sell it, she would consider doing some of those things.
Yes. Also, some of these small costs could end up giving you big dollars. Mm-hmm. I saw on Zillow, it talked about, the right color door could actually lead to an extra $6,000 in a selling price, which is crazy. I remember the color of my door when we moved here, and it was this awful light painted blue, and it was, I don't know if I would have paid more for that door, to be honest with you, at the time, right. But my gosh, we painted it, and it's like night and day. It's like almost the color of my shirt, I think, now. But, it looked worn. It gave an old impression. And the house we've been here 7 years, and I think our house is probably about 15 years old now. So.
Yeah, do not underestimate the curb appeal, because that's the first impression that people are going to get of your home. And if they pull up for a showing and it's like, meh, that's that's the feeling they're going to go into your home with.
Yeah, and not a lot of people. I've walked up to doors with people and they've looked kind of like just from the outside. We've walked away. They didn't even want to go in.
Mm-hmm.
So
that happens. Yeah.
I've seen a lot of homes that on the outside don't look like much, but once you walk in the door, you're like, wow, it's so much bigger than I thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, my advice is give everything a fair shake. It may not be your house, but, you never know.
Yeah. And I mean, we're not saying to spend a ton of money.
Oh gosh, no.
We're saying these are the lowest cost things you can do. I mean, you don't have to get a landscape architect to redo your whole outside of your house, but
correct.
Get a professional service to come, unless you're great at it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But get it, edged and trimmed, make it look very nice and neat.
Yes.
Make sure it's weeded. Make sure you don't have a worn out door. Make sure that's good. And then things like paint. We're not saying remodel your whole kitchen. It's that actually will probably I think it said on Zillow as well. I think the cost for like a major remodel, people were only getting like 87 cents return on every dollar they spent.
Mm-hmm.
For a major remodel, but for like painting and putting granite countertops, I think it was like $1.71 return
mm-hmm.
for every dollar spent.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the lower cost things.
Another thing I've seen that turns off people. This is just my own observation. Is smells.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's lots of things people can do if there is an odor in the house, whether it's a cigarette smoker who owns the house, or someone who cooks a lot. I know we smelled some very strong, pungent, like fish smells when we were walking through some homes, whether when I was looking or when I'm taking people, and nothing turns off a prospective buyer, more than a smell in a house.
Yes, that's a huge
so these are important tips. Are if you are a smoker, maybe just start smoking outside, not even in your garage because that carries over.
Yes.
Maybe rent or borrow a ozone generator. I know that's a weird thing, but people you can get them. They use them a lot when people have fires or any kind of catastrophic thing that happens to a house. It's something that absorbs smells. And it runs kind of like a fan, but it affects smells in houses.
Works really well.
It does.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use like the Febrezes or the perfumey sprays. They just kind of like hang there and don't really hide a lot. Someone else, and a suggestion, if you do have a smoker or something like that, is to clean out your vents. Have someone come in professionally, because that kind of moves whatever stuff hangs on dust. Right. And you don't see it, but it's there.
Yeah.
It really turned off one of my clients from buying a house. And nobody was even living there anymore. And it's also in the paint. If you smoked,
right,
it's in the paint. So
and it actually makes your walls dark too.
It does. It does.
Like if you have a mirror, have you seen with like a smoker's home and they had a mirror there forever, and then take the mirror away and it's like white, and brown around it.
So I am not anti-smokers. I have several friends that smoke. This is no criticism, but if you want to sell your house, odors will affect people wanting to buy it, and how quickly it will sell. So these are just little tips I'm thinking of, because it turns off people as soon as we walk in.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, which is great today, and not great that people smoke, but a lot of people that smoke don't actually smoke in their house because they don't like to smell it in their house. So which is that's very good. But yes, there are some people who do think, oh, I'll just smoke in the garage or whatever, and it still gets in the house.
Yes. I saw many houses with a family, and every time it was like the odor. It was something you smell, and you were like, no thanks. And then people don't even give it a chance. So, I think when you're living in a house that you want to sell, you have to be thinking about resale. What is this going to do to when I want to sell it? So again, you can paint it. That will help with any kind of smells that are in the current paint, um, and I wouldn't focus on basements. That doesn't add a lot of value. And you know what? I saw this great house. I did an open house for a friend of mine. The basement, lovely basement, was set up as a 50s diner with even the lighting. You could have a party. It was black and white tile. It had like the booths that you could sit in, like we're on Happy Days, okay?
Right.
And people who came through that house, they said they thought it was really cute. However, they would prefer to have a plain, maybe unfinished basement. Because what they'd have to do if they really wanted to buy that house and they didn't really love the basement, they have to take it all down. They have to destroy that.
Right.
And there's a cost to that. So if you're questioning whether you want to finish a basement to help sell your home, I'd say the best option is to leave it less is more, like not to. Don't waste that money and let the buyer make their basement the way they want.
Right, because you don't know how people are going to want to do it. So it's better to price your home accordingly as an unfinished basement. And I think there was a Zillow study. I think they were saying something about it's about like people were getting like 55 cents on every dollar they spent for a finished basement. So it's does not pay off to finish your basement.
So what people look for, as most people know, are kitchens and bathrooms. Those are the two areas that, and fresh paint, fresh trim. Those are easy areas to do little improvements.
Clean.
Oh my gosh.
Well maintained, because people always ask, how old is the roof? How old is the furnace?
How old is the windows?
Yeah, how old are the windows? And so, even if your mechanicals and your windows, things are old, just make sure that they're well maintained, because that is something that once an inspection happens on your home, if there are issues with those things, people will ask you for a credit, or maybe they won't even offer.
Yes. And if your appliances are not stainless or whatever the current trend is, there's that dark color. Remember, we've seen that. It's like a dark stainless, not the silvery stainless. If they're not, that's okay. But what I would suggest is keep that in mind when you're pricing your home, because what people are more likely going to do if they're older, older appliances, they're probably going to replace them. So recognize you have good. Maybe people want better. So just price accordingly when you're thinking about your price for you're going to sell your house.
So many people say, well, I have to price it this much higher because I want to get this amount. And everyone's going to want to negotiate. And to a degree, that is correct, right? But the closer you price it to the actual market value,
the quicker it's going to sell, and you're going to get your money.
Right.
Unfortunately, when you price it way above market, it's going to sit longer. It's going to end up costing you money just to have it sit there. And I wouldn't say you lose money that way, but a house that gains market time like that often looks dated, or what did you call it the other day? You said boring, stale.
Yeah.
Stale. That's what you said. Stale.
There are statistics that prove that if you price it too high, you're going to end up getting less than you would have if you priced it appropriately in the beginning.
Yes. I met with a gentleman once. I was negotiating with a gentleman on his house, and he was listed at about $289, and all the market was showing that it probably should have been at about $270, somewhere maybe $260, $270. And he came and he showed me all the improvements he put in it, and he was ready to argue every point. And the only thing he could have just made is a counter offer. He doesn't have to sell me. I'm not.
Right.
And I'd like you to know it's still on the market.
Wow.
I mean, this is something it's been at least 6-8 months.
Wow.
And maybe he dropped it into the 270s now. It would have sold. Had he listened. I mean, I wasn't trying to represent him. I was representing someone else. But so he just stuck to his guns. He's like, oh, look at all the money I put into it.
Right.
So people put in money if you want to. You want the nicer windows, you want the nicer floor, the nicer cabinets, because you live there and you love the home and it's something you're going to enjoy, then by all means, make the improvements that you want.
Yeah.
But you can't always count on those improvements, increasing your sale of your home.
Right, because if you're going to, make your home the way you want it, in 10 years, those may not be the trendy things that are happening, and you may have to do some more updating to sell it.
Yes.
If you want to maximize the amount that you're going to get for it, or else price appropriately.
Correct.
There's always the right price for you can decide if you want to do updates, if you don't want to do anything, but you have to price appropriately.
Yes. Yeah. So, just like we started, don't be offended if you meet with a realtor that suggests you make some changes to your home. They're looking out for your best interest, and we've seen what sells and we've seen what doesn't sell, and we're just trying to help.
Yeah.
So
we do this. I mean, we literally live this every day. This is our full-time job, so we do see it. We live this every day, and we see constant. What's the word? Verification.
Validation.
Validation. Yes.
We're really good at
figuring out what we're trying to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
A house that's priced well and looks good to go, ready to sell, sells quickly.
Mm-hmm.
One that isn't just takes a little more time, and time, as we all know, is money. So you just have to make your decision when you're signing, put your home on the market.
And remember that the market dictates how much you will get for your home, not how much you spent on improvements, not how much you paid for it. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people in that situation where they bought at a time when, they're just not going to recover what they put into their home. The market's just not there. So it's, if you're looking at what you spent to determine the price of your home, that's not a good place to start. So you have to look at the market.
Well, that's why we have our jobs.
Mm-hmm.
We help you. We help people.
Yes.
So if you have questions, you can always reach out to Stacy or me or anyone that that you work with. They'll guide you the right way to sell your home.
Yes, definitely reach out to a real estate professional. We do add a lot of value, and we will end up saving you money. Like, I guarantee you that. So,
all right. And what are we trying out today?
Okay, so what is this, Bonnie?
This is a Jose Cuervo lime strawberry margarita mix, like already made. Just pour in a glass with some ice.
Okay.
So we're trying this today.
Cheers.
Okay. Cheers. Oh, nice.
That's delicious.
That's very nice. Not too sweet.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be sweet. Too sweet.
No, this is good. Not. It actually tastes like fruit punch.
It does. It does, and I taste the strawberry and the lime.
This would be very dangerous. Mm-hmm. So.
Yes, because it does taste like fruit punch.
It's very good.
It's really good. Okay, and this is from, where did you get this?
I got it at Target.
Okay.
It was great. A great deal. I love things that are easy, and this is chill and serve over ice.
Okay.
What can be easier than that?
Awesome. So, okay. Well, cheers. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
For another session. We'll see you next time.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.